Good evening. It's Tuesday, September 1, 2020 here in Cebu City. I'm Cherry Ann Lim, and here's all you need to know in Newsbits tonight. More businesses are now allowed to open, while operational capacity has been increased for other businesses now that Cebu City has been placed under modified general community quarantine. However, the use of quarantine passes and strict checkpoints are still in effect. Here's Chari Coronel for the details.
As Cebu City shifts to modified general community quarantine, Mayor Edgardo Labelias issued an executive order allowing more establishments in the city to open, but with strict health protocols. This is to control mass gatherings and to avoid the increase of COVID-19 cases in the city. Under MGCQ, salons, barber shops, and restaurants can now operate under 75% capacity. Religious gatherings are allowed under 50% capacity until September 15. Sporting events and work conferences may operate with 50% capacity and social distancing must be observed. Sea travel to areas under MGCQ is now allowed at 50% seating capacity. Hotels, pension houses, and other accommodation may also operate as long as they have certification from Department of Tourism. Tourist destination and attraction in the city will also reopen under 50% operational capacity. However, cockpit arenas, resto bar, kid amusement industries, movie houses, and concerts are still not allowed. Senior citizens and those below 21 years old can only go out to buy essential goods. Drinking in public places is still prohibited. The enforcement of quarantine pass, curfew, and market coding scheme will still be implemented. The city is under MGCQ until September 30, 2020. Chare Coronel, Newsbits tonight.
Traditional public utility jeepneys are still not allowed to operate in the cities of Cebu, Mandaue, and Lapu-Lapu, despite the downgrading of the status of these cities to modified general community quarantine. Meanwhile, the LTFRB and other government agencies are looking into the possibility of allowing buses from Cebu province to enter Cebu City. Here's Kenneth Torres for the details.
With the downgrading of Cebu City status to modified general community quarantine starting September 1 until September 30, the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board Central Visayas said plans to allow public utility vehicles from other city to enter Cebu City are now being considered. However, these do not include traditional PUJs, which are not yet allowed to operate in the cities of Cebu, Mandaue, and Lapu-Lapu. LTFRB Central Visayas Director Eduardo Montealto Jr. said, since there are already some units allowed to enter Cebu City during the GCQ period, they will add PUVs to be given permit to pass through the city. Montealto said they will also see if buses from northern and southern Cebu province can now enter Cebu City. He assured that additional units will be issued with special permit to operate. He said he has already met with some bus operators. On Friday, 23 additional buses will be deployed in Cebu City. The LTFRB Central Visayas also extended the validity of special permits issued to all PUVs without extra fees effective September 1 to 6, except trucks for hire. Montealto said all modernized PUJs will operate in their authorized routes per Certificate of Public Convenience with corresponding issuance of special permits. This is to ensure continuous and unhampered public transportation to cater healthcare personnel and other frontline services tasked to enforce the MGCQ guidelines. After September 6, all special permits will be deemed cancelled unless another extension will be granted. Operating PUVs without special permits will be considered as colorum. As of August 16, the LTFRB Central Visayas has already issued a total of 22 special permits for Utility Vehicle Express, 130 for traditional PUJs in Cebu Province, 98 buses and modernized PUJs in the cities of Cebu, Mandaue, and Lapu-Lapu, 142 buses and modern PUJs in routes within Cebu City, 252 buses with routes within northern Cebu Province, and 342 buses with routes within southern Cebu. Kenneth Torres, Newsbits Tonight.
60% of the more than 100,000 qualified low-income families in Cebu who were not included in the first tranche of the social amelioration program have already received their cash aid. Here's Chari Coronel for the details.
Around 60% of 107,392 target waitlisted or those qualified low-income families in Cebu who were not included and provided with emergency subsidy during the first tranche of the Social Amelioration Program of the Department of Social Welfare and Development have already received their cash aid. DSWD Central Visayas Director Shalane Lucero said, as of August 31, a total of 66,858 waitlisted family beneficiaries in Cebu have already claimed their first and second tranche of cash aid via the special disbursement officers of the agency. About 81% or 19,407 of the 24,011 waitlisted families in areas in the region which were not under enhanced community quarantine status since May 1 have already claimed their cash assistance. The agency also covered around 31% of the 510,384 non-Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program target beneficiaries for the second tranche of SAP whose payout started last July 25. Meanwhile, a total of 1,840 public utility vehicle drivers endorsed by the Land Transportation Franchising and Regulatory Board Central Visayas also received cash aid. PUV drivers in Cebu received 12,000 pesos, while drivers in Bohol and Negros Oriental received 6,000 pesos. Chari Coronel, Newsbits Tonight.
More stories in Newsbits Tonight after this short break. For the latest in sports, here's Kenneth Torres.
Miami Heat's Jimmy Butler scored 14 of his playoff career 40 points in the fourth quarter. Butler joined only LeBron James and Dwayne Wade as players with a 40-point playoff effort for Miami. Goran Dragic added 27 points and the Heat clamped down defensively in the final three quarters to beat the Milwaukee Bucks 115-104 in Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinal series. Bam Adebayo had 12 points, 17 rebounds, and 6 assists for the fifth-seeded Heat, who are 3-1 overall against the top-seeded Bucks this season. Tyler Herro added 11 points for Miami, which improved to 5-0 in the postseason. Chris Middleton scored 29 points for Milwaukee, which also dropped Game 1 of its first-round series against Orlando. Brook Lopez had 24 points on 8 for 10 shooting, while Giannis Antetokounmpo had 18 points, 10 rebounds, and 9 assists. Meanwhile, Kyle Korver added 11 points. The Bucks played without point guard Eric Bledsoe. Kenneth Torres, Newsbits Tonight.
To get the latest, visit www.sunstar.com.ph. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on our social media accounts on Twitter and Facebook. I'm Cherry Ann Lim. Good evening.